Hi, this is Justin Spring, and welcome to Best Eats in Merida. You know, when we first landed here, we were in a strange neighborhood. We were used to the Santa Ana neighborhood, but we found ourselves closer to Santiago and in an area that's kind of new for gringos, and there are many restaurants here. There's a couple of cantinas and a couple of very small tiendas, and that's about it. So we went out for a walk. We were hungry, you know, when we got up in the morning after landing at night and getting here, and we took a walk around the block, and there, lo and behold, is Luna Restaurant and Cafe, brightly colored. So it was right on the block in back of us. So we were astonished because we knew that this was an area that was not heavy with cafes except in the park, and we went inside. It was nicely decorated. It was kind of Arabic, you know, Moroccan kind of thing. That's the best I could gather with my limited Spanish from the young girls there, and we found out that it was run by the mom and 3 of her daughters, and that the cooking, you can get the kind of your standard stuff there in terms of the Mexican food, but it has a slight Middle Eastern taste to it, and then they have some Middle Eastern specialties which you really can't get anywhere, which are really a welcome change in to your taste buds, you know, because the food, as you know, in Merida can get a little wearisome, you know, the pork and the turkey, you know, after a while you say, you know, where's all the fish? It's so close to the ocean. There's very few fish places here, you know. In the town I came from, the town of Alamos, in the middle of the desert in Sonora, they had seafood up the wazoo. And I think that's because the Californians had been there very early and said, you know, where's the fish? We want the oysters and the shrimp and the moriscos and all that stuff. So there was a tradition there that made sense to the Mexicans who were living there to start to either wholesale it, and they go from door to door with fish or shrimp, or they would start a ceviche stand or a sopa de marisco stand. It was always great stuff, you know. So that hasn't really caught on here, and they don't have that kind of street vendor here, and in the little cafes they have in the parks, very seldom you get any kind of seafood at all. It's the old standard. Besides the beefsteak taco, you know, is pretty much some form of turkey or pork, you know, or maybe some chicken too. So it was nice to come to a place where they had it. I liked the music too. It was very contemporary music. It was jazz to pop, and it kind of, it's a young person's music, you know, which was nice. And they have some belly dancing there once a month. I've seen some of it. It's pretty good too. You know, there's a lot of young women in the U.S. who take that up as a bodybuilding thing and the rest of it, and their dancing looks like they're bodybuilding. This doesn't really have any of the pizzazz that the Middle Eastern dancing really has. It's quite rhythmic and quite beautiful. So they do have that. There's one of the daughters is a dancer, so she dances in costume and to the conventional music and Middle Eastern music. So if you want a little change in pace, it's very reasonable. The only thing that I found a little off was their coffee. I didn't like their coffee. I don't know whether it's a blend they make themselves or but it's hard to find a good cup of coffee really unless you go to Burger King. You know, to tell you that's the best coffee in town as far as I'm concerned. And of course at home we make our own. We use the Cuban espresso, you know, Bustelo, which is, I think, is the best espresso out for its full body, and its sweetness. It's not a bitter like the Italian coffees are. So, but anyway, some people have found some substitutes here for it, and there are some people go to some of the custom grinders. But you just can't beat the Cuban coffee. If you have a chance to bring any in for yourself, you should bring in some Bustelos. Or in fact, any of the Cuban brands are just simply great for espresso. If you use espresso for your regular coffee, which in fact a lot of people do, you know, they just make it in a regular coffee pot, but they use the espresso coffee. But anyway, that was the one thing that had a little strange taste to us. That may have been the way they make coffee. Nothing particularly bad about it, but it wasn't that rich roast that we're used to having in America, and that's pretty standard disappointment here in Mexico, so you wind up just making your own. But as far as the food, it was great, and the service is very nice, and the girls are delightful. So if you get a chance, go down to Calle 47. You'll be right around us here, and pop in, for lunch or for a late breakfast around 10:30 or 11 if you want to. They're open early, and then at night they have a little backyard court. They have a couple of tables there too. It seats about five tables. You should let it take some of these too. You just have to move very slowly. Smile. Muy bonito.
Muchas gracias.
Sí. ¿Qué es tu nombre? Yeah. Yeah. What is your name? What's your name? Anna.
Anna.
Oh, okay. Anna.
Sí, con todo, ¿verdad? Con everything to puntillo.
Total. See. What do you see here? Give me a big smile. Well, we're in a Moroccan restaurant, I believe. It was right around the corner. We were worried about where to eat, but it's run by some very attractive gals, señoritas y señoras, and we're having some Moroccan and Mexican dishes mixed. So we'll be able to give you our evaluation of them a little later, because we always eat first and then judge later. So, signing off.
Okay. Gracias. Es muy bonita. Es kind of hippie looking.
Slower, much slower.
Okay. So how is the Coca-Cola? Es bueno?
He's Pepsi.
Pepsi.
No Coca, it's Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Pepsi Light, no Pepsi Diet Pepsi. Pepsi Light. Pepsi Light. Coca Light, Pepsi Light.
Bueno.
Bueno.
Okay.
Did you press it again?
No? You want me to?
That's how you do it. Stop it. This is a little appetizer that we had. It's called chadik. It's a little cream with sesame seeds and some pepper. Spices. You kind of start off the meal with this. And this is something new for us, so we like it. And also they have great music here, too. It's La Música de Estados Unidos. Moroccan. Well, you know, Joan is having a wonderful cream chicken dish, what they call creme, with broccoli and chicken and spices. It's very good. I tasted it. Of course, the bread looks like a garlic bread, but she'll report later what that is. I hope she reports later. And I have a dish with couscous, which I really like, and it's also some.
Chile.
No chile.
El limón.
And I have it's a no cheese dish, which is with some vegetables and chicken. It's very tasty. I don't know what the names of them are, but they come under the Luna label, you know, L-U-N-A, and they'll guide you.
Very nice. Not very spicy. but some interesting spices in it. And the broccoli is nice and fresh. And good.
Just one hand. Just one hand. Get that hand out of there because you're going to block. Limon.
Limon.
My dish is the kind of thing that, in fact, I wouldn't normally eat if you could point the camera at me. So, because I'm the center of attention, is that it's like a stir fry, but it's a very good stir fry because of the different textures and the different spices. So I'm really enjoying this. It has squash and carrots and looks like sprouts and a little bit of the broccoli stem. So it's extremely tasty. And it has the couscous, which is the Mediterranean Moroccan taste. And you know what, couscous is a great dish because you can cook it in about a minute.
And you can eat it in about a second.
Yeah, you can eat it real fast, so.
But that's true.
But anyway,
I want to
very
taste
tasty.
it. I want to taste yours. Mmm. Smile. This is your...
¿Cómo se llama?
Ana Laura.
Huh?
Ana Laura.
Ana Loria.
Ana Laura, yeah.
Ana
Laura.
Loria. No?
No. Laura.
Laura. Ana Laura.
Ana Laura.
Okay. Your English is very good, by the way. We speak Spanish like Chinamen. You know? Yeah. We get by, you know. ¿Cómo se llama?
Berta.
Belta. Belta. Oh, you're beautiful. I love that red hair. Perfecto. Who does the cooking? Who's the cook?
My mother.
Mi madre. Sí, your mama's mayor cook.